Are you gonna see that new movie that came out?
I guess.
What's it called again?
Star is Born?
Yeah, okay,
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
You know who's in it?
Yeah, Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga.
Oh, yeah.
I heard they were like in love.
Oh, yeah, that's
Definitely.
awesome
I've
too.
seen.
How about you, Holden? Are you gonna watch Star is Born?
No, I don't have time for movies anymore. I mean, I think they're stupid.
Why?
Just don't like them anymore. No,
Hey,
they used to.
kiddos.
Hey, Mr.
Hey.
Anthony.
Should you guys be doing your homework?
I mean, I already finished it.
How about you, holding your English homework?
No, I don't do homework anymore.
What do you mean, Holden?
Homework is not my thing. I just can't handle it.
I don't know what's up with Holden. I mean, our date to the movies and to the ice rink at Radio City was going really well until he started ranting about going away, moving to the middle of nowhere, and living in a cabin. Like, it really scared the living hell out of me. Who just says something like that? And I told him that it was ridiculous, and then he started yelling at me. Like, who does that? I think he has anger issues or something. He also got very jealous when I was talking to that guy from Andover, even though I spent the entire afternoon with only Holden. And I even wore that mini skirt while I was ice skating to try and impress him. And nothing. He also wouldn't stop talking about being alone and getting away from the phonies, which makes me think that he has depression and because he wants to isolate himself from everyone. I think that he should really talk to someone because it could get worse and he might end up yelling at someone again, and I didn't deserve to be yelled at, and he was such a jerk to me. Like, who makes a girl cry? Like, I'm too pretty to cry.
Holden has always been so kind to me. I used to think he was one of those guys who didn't care about anyone before I knew him, but once he reached out about his dog to me, I knew he was a good guy. I mean, besides, he was way different than his mom. She hated my dog. Holden was always so real with me. He treated me like no guy had ever treated me before. I mean, I loved playing checkers with him, but he always found it so interesting that I keep all my kings in the back row. I mean, that's not that weird. One time when I was sad, we fooled around a little bit, but it wasn't a big deal. We just kissed a little, but I could tell he had no bad intention about it. He was genuinely caring for me and wanted me to feel better. Holden would have never treated me the way he's treating Sally. I mean, I'm shocked, and I know what my friends are saying, but this is the first time I've talked to Holden in a long time because he hasn't called me up, and especially because this is the first time I've seen him in months. I'm afraid that when his brother passed away, this is what's caused him to be a different person. I sure hope he's all right.
Yeah, so last night I came home from my date with Jane. Everything was going well and chill. And then I told Holden about my date. And he got so overprotective and got so angry. I don't know why he was acting this way. He tackled me, which is something he's never done before, because he was actually trying to beat me up. I think he has anger issues and he's insecure about himself, and he suddenly got so defensive about Jane. He was acting very aggressive. Of course, I had to show him who's boss and sit on him. The little man finally gave up. I think he really needs to chill out and realize nothing happened between me and Jane.
I invited Holden to come to my house when he called me and told me that he was out of Pensy. I'm just worried about it. I'm scared he's going to end up 30 and hating the whole world. I offered him my place to stay so he could sleep. And he just has so many things to talk about, so I tried to be as helpful as possible. He seems to have a fixed mindset, though. I was stroking his head while he was sleeping just to calm him down or help him out in whatever way I can. When he was sleeping on my couch, I mean, he seemed very freaked out. I was just admiring him because he looked nice. But the thing is, I think Holden, he just doesn't know where he belongs. He needs to find himself. He needs to find out who he is and what he's waiting for. I think for him it'd be best to just get a therapist and get someone to talk to. And I think that's what's best for Holden.
Life sucks. Everyone is just so phony and ignorant nowadays, such as Stradlater, and Sally is just annoying. Like, why did she have to cry after I yelled at her? I get I shouldn't have yelled at her, but like, why did she have to get so emotional? Why can't she just be like Jane? Jane's such a nice girl, and for some time I thought she was the one, but Pensy ruined what we had, and when Stradlater talked about her, I just couldn't get enough of it, and wanted to see how she was doing. Stradlater always gets on my nerves, but going on a date with Jane really ticked me off to the limit. Like, how can you understand that I've had previous history with her, and that he should just tell her at least what I had to say? He never listens to me, and that is why I try to fight him, and I don't regret any moment of it. That is why I needed time off for myself. I couldn't handle all this phony shit all the time. I still miss my family, especially Phoebe, but everyone else was too much to handle. Most of my friends are just not right for who I am at this moment.
Have you guys noticed anything wrong with Holden lately? I noticed he was super upset when you asked him about homework.
Yeah, he used to do very well in my class, and now he just seems unmotivated. He doesn't really seem to be doing his homework. His grades are dropping.
Yeah, I noticed that he also wants to isolate himself from people and just reality because he wouldn't stop talking about like moving away, being alone, just like getting away from life.
Yeah, and he's been acting so aggressive. Like, he tried to pester me, and he's always trying to pick fights with me. I don't know what's going on with him. He's been acting really weird lately.
I think he has some sort of depression or maybe anger issues.
Yeah, we should take him to a therapist or a support group or something.
Yeah, I think the therapist would be the best idea. Or what about his parents?
Well, I don't really think he should talk to his parents because I've had experiences with his mom and she's not very nice. And I know he doesn't have the best relationship with them, so maybe a therapist would be best.
Okay,
That
so
sounds good.
let's talk to Holden about seeing a therapist.
I think that's best.
I think that's the best idea.
All right.
Hey, Holden.
Are you okay?
Not really.
Well, we've been noticing lately that you've been acting very sad and you're trying to isolate yourself from us and just the world around you. And that really concerns us. So we're just wondering, like, what's up because you're not really saying anything.
I mean, since my brother Ali died, things have just been different.
We know that it's probably really hard on you and we can't imagine losing our brother ourselves. But we think in this situation it would be smart for you to talk to someone so you don't keep it all on yourself and end up hurting yourself negatively. So we were thinking that maybe a therapist could help you.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea, because lately I've seen you have a lot of anger issues, and I always see you depressed. I think you should really go see a therapist.
Yeah, I think a therapist would be good for you. Just, you could go somewhere and have someone like talk to you about your problems, and I think it would just help you get over whatever your depression or problem you have.
Well, I'm thankful for you guys looking out for me, and I'll think about it in the future.
Yeah, of course.